Hey, good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. Coming to you live from Ellijay, Georgia, the big city north of Atlanta. About an hour, I guess, but we're up here in the mountains. Nice and cold this morning. Feels good out. Supposed to be a warm day. No earthquake this morning, so we didn't get up to an earthquake. Rain, ice storm, and then earthquake, right? You probably have noticed the picture going around social media of weather in Georgia. Rain, ice, earthquake. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We don't know what Thursday brings, but I do know what this show has in store for you. First of all, if you'd like to contact the show, 706-889-9700. Chief at FetcherNews.com. And there's all the social media ways you can follow us and keep track of us, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, we come to you live two different ways. We come to you live YouTube Live. So if you subscribe to the channel, you get a notification that we're live on YouTube. Then we also come to you live on FYNTV.com. All of the shows are archived there. Anytime we finish a show, you can go to FYNTV.com, hit on demand, and pick the show of that day, and you can watch it later or again. Now, I'm telling you all this because some of you are tuning in maybe for the first time, and you're here today to because we have an interview with Anna Franklin. Anna Franklin, Justin McKinney was killed on December 4th, murdered. There's 4 juveniles in custody at this time for that murder. Blake Dickey, Hunter Hill, Lakota Cloyer, Dalton Manuel. Those 4, Dickey is 15, Hill is 15, Manuel is 15, and Cloyer is 16. 3 are charged with felony murder, and 1, the 16-year-old Cloyer, is charged with a party to crime of murder. So he is the driver. Anna Franklin was also in the house, and they shot her. She did live. Yesterday we went out and we did an interview with Anna Franklin, just trying to dig a little more into this murder story. A couple things in the interview. We're going to do that at 9 o'clock. So for those of you out there wanting to know, we're going to do that right at 9. That's our promise. We'll come at 9 o'clock. We'll do the interview, those that are keeping up with this story. I think there's some things that, I know there are some things that are highlighted in this interview that are highlighted in this interview on other subjects going on or other things happening in Fannin County that may need to be addressed, or we need to know out here. The news, what's going on with supposedly drugs, the amount of drugs, and what's being done to maybe rid the county. And I know everybody would love to rid their county of drugs, but I think drugs surround this murder. Anyhow, again, Anna Franklin's interview at 9 o'clock. So we'll do that story at 9. Second, before we get started into some other things, many of you learned yesterday, as we did here, that Chris Parker, I want to give a shout out, the head coach of the Pickens County Dragons, has resigned as head coach of the Dragons. He is staying with the school system. He will continue to be the athletic director. There are some other assignments he will be doing and be responsible for in the school system, but he is staying there. Coach Parker's not going anywhere. He'll always be Coach Parker to me, but he will no longer be the head coach. He wanted to keep it quiet so he could talk to his players. Pickens County Dragons coming off a very successful year, setting a lot of records, school records. First 10-0 season for the Pickens Dragons. First region championship for the Dragons. First home playoff game that they won against White County for the Dragons. So they won 11-1, and they went to a second home playoff game before being beat by Troup County. But that being said, 11-1 record. He's going out. The new coach will be picked internally. There's not a search, okay? So the Pickens Dragons are not searching for a new coach. The program basically is not going to change at all. staff, coaches, and a new head coach is coming from within the organization to be named today. All right, publicly named today. I may already know. I don't know, just a guess, but from within. So we go with that. Okay, now, where in the world at 8:30 it's time for Carla's Corner, but, you know, it's only here that I could say Butt Boy and Pecker in the same segment. Just saying. I mean, if you are in the 6th grade, you just can't beat some of the news that's coming out, all right? Butt Boy and Pecker. Just easy, folks. It's nothing to be alarmed about. Nothing at all. Do you have number 2 there? This is Mika. And the reason I want to open with this is these are these elite, pompous pieces of garbage over at MSNBC, okay? She is elite. She's better than you, okay? The facelift, as you can see, you know, when she showed up at Mar-a-Lago, her and Joe, her face was bleeding all over, Trump said, from the facelift. They hate Trump. They hate this man with a passion, so they're doing the bidding of the deep state over there at MSNBC. She's off today. Mika is off. And I find it very interesting. At 6 a.m. this morning, Joe comes on with his band of monkeys, the whole group of monkeys there. And, well, daggone it. Let's see. Is anybody black on there? Because I hope they don't monkey it up. And then again, is this racist? And can I say Pecker on the air? And are we doing a story called Butt Boy? Yeah, let's get back to this. So this elitist, this piece of garbage right here on the screen, not Mike Pompeo, all due respect, sir, the Secretary of State, she comes on. She's not there today. 6 a.m. Joe says Mika is off today on a planned day off. That was a long time ago. She planned this. He takes 30 seconds to 45 seconds to open the show to explain why Minka's not there this morning. And don't read into the fact that Minka's not there. This was planned. And then he gets the monkeys all to, you know, swing around the cage and say, hey, yeah, we know Mika was off, right, Joe? You sent us the email this morning. She's off because something she planned months ago. We get it. This is what Mika said yesterday, okay, on the show concerning Mike Pompeo, all right? Roll the tape.
Because I don't think I can't think of anyone here who could put it more clearly than you. I understand that Donald Trump doesn't care. Heilman makes a good point. He doesn't care. But why doesn't Mike Pompeo care right now? Are the pathetic deflections that we just heard when he appeared on Fox and Friends, is that a patriot speaking or a wannabe dictator's butt boy?
Want to be dictator's butt boy? I learn something every day. I have to tell you. I tell people, you know, you got to go through life. You need to learn 5 new things every day. Just go learn something. If you go, I learned something I did not know yesterday that butt boy, you know, I'm from a different generation, you know. I'm from back when the Flintstones were having a gay old time and I didn't realize anything was going on, right? So I did not realize till yesterday that butt boy is a racial slur. I didn't know that. He calls Pompeo Trump's butt boy, and I'm like, damn, wow, all right. Now, here is the guy. Now, I think she meant this guy right here. Give me number 16. We'll go with 16, all right. I think Michael Cohen, Mika, would be butt boy, okay? Absolutely. I think that if you're going that direction, Mika, the guy on the left that got sentenced to 3 years behind bars yesterday, crying like a bitch. Sorry, I know, I'm not supposed to, but crying like a girl, I don't know what he was crying like. I mean, I'm out of control already, right? But Michael Cohen there on the left, I think that's going to be butt boy. I think that's what's going to happen when they get Mika. I think you need to get that right. So Mika over here, let's go back to number 2, all right? So she calls Mike Pompeo butt boy, and I understand that's a racial slur. So from the Washington Post yesterday, Mika Brzezinski faces backlash after calling Secretary of State Pompeo wannabe dictator's butt boy during a segment of Morning Joe on Wednesday. The homophobic and vulgar remark was triggered by a less than impassionate response from Pompeo about the murder of Saudi journalist and Washington Post contributor, columnist Jamal Khashoggi. Okay? Mika gave a half-hearted apology. That was no apology. She is really getting taken to task on social media. All right. She did not apologize. I totally agree with you, Richard Grinnell. Okay, accepting apologies is important. We all fail. But I don't see that you actually apologize to gays. I don't see where you apologize. Mika didn't apologize. Your words demean, mock, and therefore try to control whole groups by minimizing our humanity. Totally agree with you. Super bad choice of words. I should have said water boy like a football team or something like that. Apologize to Senator Durbin too. So sorry. So Minka's off today. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that Mika would not be in this morning. And it's been planned for all too long. These pompous jerks. Now, the word of the day is insurmountable. Insurmountable, okay? That's our word of the day. I don't know if we'll have one tomorrow, but insurmountable. Too great to be overcome. I really think that some things are going to be too great to be overcome. And let's go through the media's, oh yeah, by the way, Cohen, when you go to prison number 1 there, you'll probably meet in prison, the mega gang. That's how you can identify them. They're wearing their necklace, mega, okay? And you probably are going to have a bad day in prison when they find out you're the one that flipped on their boy, Donald. Oh, yeah. When you find out, I mean, when Kanye puts the word out that you flipped on the Don, yeah, okay, we'll see how you make out in prison. Okay, let's go with this 3 things. Here's the way it's going this morning. Number 8, the walls close in, all right? They are treating Michael Cohen yesterday as if they sentenced Donald Trump at the same time. They are treating Cohen as if they've already, this is it. Okay? The walls close in. According to the media, this is the sentencing. This makes it official. Donald Trump is an unindicted co-conspirator. They want to see, the Democrats want to see what the Supreme Court will say about a president of the United States being indicted. Watch and see. Just saying, don't know. But this yesterday, Cohen's crying, all right, and getting 3 years. They feel they just convicted Donald Trump too. They are so giddy over there. Number 9, Miss America. Number 9, there she is. Miss America. Pelosi gets the votes. You know, I just want to bring this up for a reason. During the election months ago, maybe a year, but I know 6 months ago, when Democrat candidates started coming out and the media carried the water for them, and Pelosi, they were campaigning and telling the voters in their district where they won, I won't vote for Nancy Pelosi, or I think we need new leadership, or I think something's got to change in the leadership. But I said all along 6 months ago, Pelosi will be Speaker of the House, period. 6 months ago, all right? There was an interview 6 weeks before the election. Elijah Cummings, they had him on TV. Elijah Cummings said, there's no doubt Nancy Pelosi will be the next Speaker of the House. There's no doubt. But the media carried that narrative all the way until yesterday, okay, when a false deal was cut for Democrats, okay, so they can go home. They're going to go home and say, well, we got a deal. Anytime a Democrat's a speaker, they can only be in there for 4 years. Bull. All right? Democrats and term limits. How old is she? 80, 78? She's what, 78? You look it up. She made a promise. She made a promise to her party that she would only be speaker for 4 years. And they're going to come out and cheer and tell the people back home, hey, we told you we would vote against her, but we cut a deal. There's a deal here. She won't be there over 4 years. We got term limits. Really? Was she 78? She'll be 82? 82? Maybe that's when she planned to go home anyway. And she's Speaker of the House. Period. I told you once, every one of those young people that just got elected went through the room and they got the hell beat out of them, they would come out with a whole different tune. Everything is done now. Nancy is going to be Speaker of the House in just a little over 3 weeks. A little over 3 weeks. And if the President of the United States comes out in January and does a State of the Union address, you will get to see Nancy Pelosi sitting behind him. So we will have the picture in our American history of Mike Pence, Nancy Pelosi, and Donald Trump. Who would have thought that, right? Just saying, she got the votes. We all knew she would have the votes the whole entire time. Another subject I want to talk about this morning, we're getting close. It's almost time for Carlos. Texting. Number 10, okay? California, all right? California is looking to tax texting, all right? And the one thing I want you to watch for is, let me get to the story on this one, all right? I had it here just a second ago. California regulators mulling a tax on text messages, all right? California Public Utilities Commission is considering charging mobile phone users a fee for sending text messages to help fund program that makes phone service available to low-income residents. Now, not exactly the same thing, but what about Georgia? You know, we keep being told about that broadband, broadband, all right? If they take any more money, I want to know, are they going to give it to the broadband providers? Are we just going to give these people, the internet people, more money? Trust me, they have the money. They can do this. All right? In an interview with Speaker Ralston, okay, the communications tax, okay? Now, Jim Galloway with the AJC is asking Speaker David Ralston about the communications tax. That seems to be the second heaviest lift out there. This is a smaller piece of something we've talked about before, about expanding the base of sales tax in order to reduce taxes elsewhere. What we are doing in the proposal, Ralston said, what we are doing in the proposal is to tax products that have been tax-free up until now, if you believe in a flat or fair tax. I think people will like this. Certainly, it will allow us then to do some things regarding the extension of broadband to some poorly served or not served at all areas of Georgia. I think high-speed broadband is a foundation of rural development because it's so intricately related to healthcare, education, and business. I'm telling you right now, you read California's going to tax texting, Georgia's on their way. Where's that story? Okay? Now, I'm all in favor of the Rural Commission, okay? The rural I forget what it was called, the Rural Growth Commission or whatever, the Speaker Ralston. I support that, all right? And I support getting fast, high-speed internet throughout the state of Georgia. But I tell you what, I don't support a new tax that's going to go to the carriers. Because keep in mind, before they do this and they say, hey, we're going to get another, $2 a month from your phone bill, okay, to enhance internet throughout the state. Don't forget, Barack Obama's, all right, billions of dollars went into Barack Obama's, Connect America. Yeah, Connect America. Go look at that. Billions of dollars where it went. And look at how many carriers in Georgia that provide internet got that money from Connect America and did nothing, did not expand broadband. So I don't see any need to take another $2, I don't even know what it is, from my phone bill to promise me broadband that's going to go to the carrier with no guarantees that they're going to increase service. We'll go through that later, but be careful next session and pay attention. Insurmountable. I'm going to tell you now, if Republicans do not stay with Donald Trump, let's just go with number 10. I'll tell you how I am. I'll use his words. Let's go with number 13. I'm sorry. Let's go with number 13. Trump isn't bluffing over shutdown. Okay, this is Kennedy. This is Kennedy from Louisiana, Senator Kennedy from Louisiana. This is how serious I am. I'm going to use his statement on Trump. They asked him yesterday how serious he thought the President of the United States was concerning a government shutdown. He said 4 heart attacks and a stroke. That's what he said. He said he's as serious as 4 heart attacks and a stroke. And that's serious. He'll shut it down. I'm as serious as 4 heart attacks and a stroke. And I'll tell you why. Because if Republicans bail from the president now, Marco Rubio, if they bail now, okay, the losses they will see, the Senate, they will lose the Senate. The House losses will be much bigger, okay? And I don't know if we'll get the presidency back if the Republicans bail. I don't know. We're not down that road yet. But the losses will be so big to Republicans if they bail on the President of the United States. It will be the complete, insurmountable, it'll be an explosion in the Republican Party they won't come back from. It could be the eternal explosion the Democrats have been waiting for if these Republicans start jumping ship against the President of the United States. Because, see, we know the truth, you and I, okay? You and I know the truth. You don't see this anywhere this morning, all right? You don't see this anywhere. Number 11, oh, you do at Fox, I'll give them credit. But I'm reading articles this morning. Number 11, demanding documents. Remember, Flynn got this whole thing kicked off. Flynn got this ball rolling, all right? Demanding documents. Judge orders Mueller to hand over documents in Flynn's case. Why? Why? Number 12, demanding documents. Judge orders there. Who is that? That's Peter Strzok. All right? Number 3, there's Flynn in the middle. Okay? There's Peter Strzok on one side, Andrew McCabe on the other. The deputy director of the FBI, no longer there, fired. Peter Strzok. Okay? McCabe told Flynn, hey, you don't need an attorney. It's not that kind of meeting, you know? All right, you don't need an attorney. Don't worry. Strzok was there to do the interview. Now, 2 days ago, if you watched all the left media as hard as you could get to the left, you were seeing Flynn. You saw Michael Cohen this week. You know, Judgment Week for the president. Michael Cohen, Michael Flynn, and Paul Manafort. This morning, Flynn's name's coming down out of there right now because they don't want to talk about this right here. They don't want to talk about this, but you and I know the truth, okay? These two guys, number 4, Peter Strzok and Andy McCabe, are the ones that did Flynn in. These two crooks. Judge wants to see everything. He wants to see everything here. Let's go to number 5. Let's just remember this. While they're talking about 2 porn stars, okay, they're talking about McDougal and the National Enquirer, the Playboy Bunny, and Stormy Daniels, all right? Let's look at number 5 there. We've got McCabe, Strzok, Bruce Orr, Nellie Orr. We're just going to go with a couple. All right? Strzok and his insurance policy. Maybe that's what we're doing right now. Let's go to number 6. Hey, Strzok, McCabe, work for Comey. I mean, I just want to remind you this morning. There is Michael Flynn that the judge wants to see everything. There's an IG report coming out. I mean, we have evidence on so many things. But no, we're talking about $130,000 to Stormy Daniels and the National Enquirer. Pecker covered it up. And we're going to have the Donald Trump Unsolved Mysteries show is going to go on for season after season when they're done because they're going to open the National Enquirer vault. They will probably subpoena what's in that vault. Get ready. Supposedly the National Enquirer has a vault where Trump stories are all buried, okay, that they were trying to keep away from you. Because Hillary should be president of the United States. At the end of the day, when they get done, every time they see this man's face, they think Hillary Clinton should be president of the United States, and they're determined to stop it. And the Republicans are definitely in on it. Definitely in on it. Number 7. Just little reminders we need today, okay? Glenn Simpson up there to the left. Hillary, what the hell? Nellie Orr, okay? Nellie Orr, Comey. Loretta Lynch, Obama. Bruce Orr. Sally Yates, acting attorney general. Forget it, man. Peter Strzok. McCabe. Perstrap. Who is he? We never hear any talk about him. All right? Never hear any talk about him at all. Where is he? FBI agent, ex-FBI agents McCabe and Strzok role in Flynn interview problematic, highly unusual. Okay, when Michael Flynn's attorney requested the former national security advisor receive no jail time for lying to federal agents, they asked the judge to consider the role of 2 former Federal Bureau of Investigation agents who have since been fired and referred to alleged misconducts. Okay, the sentence memo filed Tuesday in Flynn's defense suggested that former FBI Director Andrew McCabe encouraged Flynn not to seek legal counsel before sitting down with an interview with 2 FBI agents, one of the agents being Peter Strzok. Okay, now I want to bring up one more thing before I close this. All right, let's stay right there. His name's Pre-Strap, okay? He's in the circle. You don't hear anybody. Top FBI official, Bill Pre-Strap, to retire. A top FBI official has a role in overseeing investigations into both Hillary Clinton and Trump's campaign, will retire at the end of the year. Bill, who is currently serving as Assistant Director of FBI's Counterintelligence Division, will leave the Bureau after 20 years, okay? His departure is unrelated to the 2016 investigations and the questions that have been raised about them, the Journal reports. He's just been there 20 years, and he's gonna leave. Pre-Strap was involved in the FBI's investigation into the Russian interference in 2016 election and whether Russian collusion with the Trump campaign, and he was also part of the Bureau's investigation into Clinton's use of a private email server. Now, the last thing I want to say, all right, President Trump fired FBI Director James Comey last year, while Deputy Director Andrew McCabe was fired in March by Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Counterintelligence agent Peter Strzok was fired in August after facing criticism for sending critical text about Trump during the 2016 campaign. Pre-Strap supervised Strzok before he was fired. That was his supervisor. Oh, he's just leaving. He's got 20 years in. He's going to get we're going to give him the cake, the watch, everything. We got to go. We're running late. It's time for Carla's Corner. The things you don't see, the things you don't see, don't hear. And we're going to be back. We're going to be back right after these messages with Carla's Corner. I'm your host, BKB. Take us to break.